Omalay's Clarity of Mind has to be one of the most anticipated album in the past 2 years. We have all been waiting for this album, and it's so unfortunate that after the project dropped, it was so underwhelming. It has to be one of the most underwhelming Omalay's projects. So let's talk about Omalay's Clarity of Mind. Coming off project like Get Laid, Boy Alone, Omalay has set a standard for himself. Projects that are raw, emotional, and most importantly, cohesive. But Clarity of Mind, it feels unfocused and honestly lacking depth. And for me, the biggest problem here is repetition and safe songwriting. Omali built his brand on vulnerability and introspection, but this time it feels like he is recycling the same theme but without the same emotional weight. Melodies are still there, don't get me wrong, but they don't hit like before. They feel predictable and in some moments forgettable. Even production wise, the album leans heavily on the familiar Afrobeat pattern. Compared to Get Laid and Boy Alone, where he experimented with mode and sound, this one plays it very safe. And that's another problem. There are barely any standout moments. Only few songs actually demand replay value. Probably I Am, Waste, which is actually a pre-release song, and those don't feel like a defining hit. Vocally, it's still smooth, still controlled, but even that feels toned down. The hunger, the pain, that uniqueness that made Omale special, it feels diluted here. But one thing I must give him accolade for is actually the rollout for this album. The marketing was genius, the energy, it felt like art, and this is where the disappointment actually came from. The way the album was presented, you'll be expecting something groundbreaking, but the music didn't match that same level. I expected a completely different story, a different approach, something bold, something evolved. Instead, Clarity of Mind feels like a step backward. It doesn't really evolve his sound or elevate his artistry. But don't get me wrong, this album is a good album, but for Omale, good is not enough. This album is actually underwhelming for an album he claimed to be.
One of the greatest Afrobeat album of all time.